Hello and welcome to a standard video here on the channel. Today we're going to be playing a spicy combo deck in standard. Combo deck in standard, you might say. Well, yes, it is a combo deck in standard, and it is very cool when it goes off. And it goes off very consistently on turn 5 or 6. So I'm going to be walking through it with a deck tech, and then I'll get into some matches in a friendly league, just so it's a bit low stakes so I can talk through my plays a bit more and play a bit slower. Okay, so first things first, what is the combo? So this is a combo revolving around New Perspective. So essentially, New Perspective is a 6-mana card that when it enters the battlefield, you draw 3, and then it says as long as you have 7 or more cards in hand, you may pay 0 rather than pay cycling costs. So first of all, why would we want to be cycling? Well, cycling is good because we have cycling for free is good because we have a deck filled with cyclers, and most of all, cycling is good because it lets us combo off. So how do you combo off with cycling? Well, there are cards, Vizier of Tumbling Sands and Shafet Monitor, that have extra effects when you cycle them that will still happen even if you cycle them for free. So we'll start with Shafet Monitor. Shafet Monitor, you may search your library for a basic land card or a desert card, put it onto the battlefield, and shuffle your library. So we're going to be using this to get basic lands out of our deck, and they do come in untapped, so this will generate us a mana if we do it with New Perspectives. We do have a bunch of basics in the deck. I think we have 8 or 9, so we have 4 forests, 2 islands, 2 plains, and 1 swamp in the deck to get with our Shafet Monitor. So we should usually have a basic in the deck. The bigger combo piece, however, is Vizier of Tumbling Sands, which says whenever you cycle it, you may untap target permanent, which includes lands. So you can also use it to generate 1 mana. However, if we have a Gifts of Paradise attached to one of our lands, we can cycle Vizier of Tumbling Sands to generate 2 mana. So essentially what you want to do is you want to cycle to get Shafet Monitors and Vizier of Tumbling Sands to generate mana, then put a Gift of Paradise onto a land, and then you can use your other Vizier of Tumbling Sands to tap for 2 mana, essentially, because when you cycle them, you'll untap the land with Gift of Paradise, which can produce any color. So once we've done that several times, we are cycling through our deck. We have a ton of cyclers, which I'll go through in a moment, including lands, but we can cast Shadow of the Grave, which returns all cards to your hand that you cycled or discarded this turn. So we've cycled many Shafet Monitors and Vizier of Tumbling Sands, and then we return them to our hand with Shadow of Grave, and then we can repeat the process, but now that we have a Gifts of Paradise on a land, all of our Vizier of Tumbling Sands will tap for 2 mana, essentially. So each Vizier will get 2 more mana, draws a card, so we're going to just churn through our deck. So how do we win once we've done that? Well, we have a singleton Faith of the Devoted in the deck, which is a very cool win condition because you can usually generate enough mana. You need 10 mana and 10 cycling cards in your hand to win with this card, which is not hard to do. And what you do is essentially you go through your whole deck, generate all your mana with your Vizier of Tumbling Sands, and then you use Faith of the Devoted, and you just let the draw triggers go on the stack from your cycling cards and just cycle 10 cards and pay 10 mana to kill them from 20. So you don't need to have 10 cards left in your deck. So if your Faith of the Devoted is your last card, you can still win. But that's essentially what you do. You just use Faith of the Devoted to drain them out from 20. We also have a singleton Masterminds acquisition to get either a card from our deck or from the sideboard. We can use this to get a New Perspectives if we do not have one in our opening hand. We can use this to get one of our situational cycling cards if we need it. We can use it to get from our sideboard certain cards that might be useful, like a Fumigate or an Archfiend of Ifnir on certain board states, or a Forsake the Worldly if we need one. But Mastermind's Acquisition is just a pretty flexible card in this deck. We can also get our Faith of the Devoted from either the main deck or the sideboard. It's just pretty useful in general. And I'll talk about the sideboard in a minute, but it's also pretty useful for sideboarding, and I'll discuss that in a moment. So now we get on to our non-combo pieces, but they are essentially combo pieces because all of them have cycling, so they're all part of the combo. We have 4 copies of Cast Out to help buy us time and get rid of problematic permanents that might kill us too quickly. We have 4 copies of Renewed Faith, which we're cycling almost every single time just to try and gain a couple life, stay alive until we can get to turn 6 to cast our New Perspectives, and also cycling helps us find it. Censor, just to help us counter some early plays and stay alive. Countervailing Winds is just a singleton, but I really enjoy having it because against control decks, you sometimes struggle because if they just counter all your New Perspectives, you're in trouble. And having a singleton Countervailing Winds and a bunch of Censors means that you can win the counter more. I agree, Max Mitchell. It is nice outside. Spring is coming soon. Going to the mana base, we have 4 copies of Fetid Pools, we have 4 copies of Irrigated Farmland, we have 4 copies of Scattered Groves, and 3 Sheltered Thickets. Sheltered Thickets is not insane because we can't use the red mana, so that's why we only have 3. We do have 25 lands because a lot of the time we are going to be cycling our lands. So we want to be able to we never really want to mulligan with this deck because if you mulligan, it makes it harder to get to new perspectives. So we basically want to just have a ton of mana sources, which we will draw because we're cycling a lot. And so it's very rare that you have to mulligan. I do like going to the beach, Max. We have a Singleton Glacial Fortress just to help us get our blue and our white mana, which we need for early cycling plays. And essentially that's the main deck. The sideboard is interesting because it's made up of good targets for Mastermind's acquisition and then good sideboard tech against control and aggro. So against aggressive decks, you kind of want to bring in Haze of Pollen. It can sometimes buy you a whole extra turn against an attack, which can help you win with new perspectives. Mastermind's acquisition is part of a cool sideboard plan. Against black decks, they can bring in Lost Legacy against you. So if you bring in a Mastermind's acquisition, you can take out one copy of some of your key combo pieces. So you can take out one New Perspectives, one Shadow of the Grave, or one Vizier. You don't take out Vizier of Tumbling Sands, but you get the idea. You take out one copy of New Perspectives usually for a copy of Mastermind's acquisition. So if they do Lost Legacy your New Perspectives, you don't just lose the game. You still have a way to win. Also, we have 3 Negates, another Countervailing Winds for control, Faith of Devoted #2 in case you're playing against a deck that might be able to kill the first one, 2 Forsake the Worldlies for artifact and enchantment decks that can be problematic, a Settle the Wreckage for aggro, a Fumigate for aggro, 1 Approach of the Second Sun. That's an alternate win con. So in the main deck, if you don't think you're going to be able to win with Faith of the Devoted for whatever reason, maybe they exile it with Forsake the Worldly of their own, or exile it with something that you can't deal with, you can Mastermind's Acquisition for a Approach of the Second Sun in the sideboard and generate enough mana to cast 2 approaches on the same turn and win. So that's another way you can win. You can also potentially sideboard it in, but mostly it's just there for the Mastermind's Acquisition game plan. And then 1 copy of Fragmentize. This is untested for me. Yeah, funny story, Smurf. Yeah, this is a New Perspectives combo deck. We're going to be running it through a little bit of a friendly league, probably playing 3 matches with it for the YouTube channel. Fragmentize is just a one of, but it's pretty good against Mardu vehicles. It can kill cast outs. It can kill Search for Uscantas if you need to. It's just a bit cheaper than Forsake the Worldly, so you don't necessarily only want Forsake the Worldly. So yeah, that's the deck. We're going to be running it through a league, and yeah. And we're going to be, hopefully it's going to work out. And cycling. Yep. And one other important thing to note when you're playing this deck, you don't want to just cast your cards willy-nilly. So even if they have a card that you can censor, you might not want to censor because you might just want to be able to cycle it to find your new perspectives or just have 7 cards in hand. You also have to be aware that sometimes you won't have 7 cards in hand, so you just have to be careful. So we're going to keep it. You pretty much keep every single hand with this deck. You never really want to have to mulligan. So we're going to play our Scattered Groves first, so that we have green mana for Gifts of Paradise. And you want to be Gifts of Paradising a basic land if you can to play around Field of Ruin. Okay, so aggressive deck. Bomat Courier is only really an aggro deck, so we're probably just going to be in for a quick matchup. Hopefully we can combo off on turn 5. Okay, so we're going to play our island here, and then we will be cycling away our either our Fetid Pools or Irrigated Farmland, probably. We might want to save cast out. We're definitely casting Gift of Paradise next turn. Okay, Earthshaker Kenra. I should always stream by that window. Actually, Max, I'm on the West Coast for a week, so I will try streaming by this window if I can. If I'm streaming in the morning. Okie doke. We'll take 3. And then we'll cycle away our Fetid Pools. Play a Forest. It's my spring break, Max. So we're on the West Coast for several days, so nice little refreshing. The time of the streams is going to be wonky too because of that element of because I'm on the West Coast, so It's West Coast time. So now we just need to find a new perspectives and we'll probably just win. Okay. So we have several turns to do it though. Probably like 2 more draws. Stream at the beach. Yeah, Northern California doesn't have like insane beaches. Okay, so we have that part of the combo. Spring break this early. Yeah, it's nice. I have 2 spring breaks though, so it's nice. Nice little feature. We're going to play our swamp. That way we can potentially cycle 3 cards if we want to. We can cycle Fetid Pools, Farmland, and Cast Out. Also, one of the benefits of playing this deck is if you hold up a bunch of mana, sometimes they don't attack you with everything because they want to play around Settle the Wreckage, which you don't have. So they don't know about that. But yeah, see, he's not attacking with Bomat Courier because he doesn't want to lose everything. But yeah, we'll just take it. So he thinks we have more stuff than we do, which is kind of just a nice benefit. So if we cycle Vizier and untap this, we can cycle 2 more times, which I think we're going to do. Because we do really want to find our... and we can also just do a mini Shadow of the Grave. We kind of just want to find our new perspectives. Because this is our like last turn to find it. Okie doke. Things could get ugly, folks. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So this is our last draw to hit it, because we're just dead next turn. So we're gonna cycle Vizier, untap this. So now we're not just dead. So we'll cycle this. Yes, use its ability. And then we will Shadow of the Grave. I feel like we're dead, but we have to Shadow of the Grave here because we can't afford to just get rid of all our Viziers. And then we played a land already, so we'll pass. So we're essentially at 12 because we're definitely cycling Renewed Faith. So yeah, we're going to just die, I think. Especially if it's like another shock or something. Okay. So this is 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. So technically we survive at 1 if he has literally nothing in his hand. So I like the sound of that. Okay. And that is the downside of the deck sometimes, is you just don't find a new perspective, so you lose. But we, I think we did the best we could. Here, we'll go to 1. And who knows, maybe he just has 2 Hazards in hand and we have 1 more draw step. Nope. Oh, he's trying to draw into the win. Seems fairly likely, yep. Maybe he did. Yeah, we're dead. Okie doke. We just needed our new perspectives. Okay. So against aggro, we're going to side out our countervailing winds because we don't really need counters. We're going to side in our Settle the Wreckage, our Fumigate, our 2 Haze of Pollens, and siding out. We don't need any of these cards really. We don't need an Archfiend. It's a bit too slow for this matchup. Archfiend's more for like snake decks because then you can double up the counters you put on them, and also just like mid-range decks in general. We don't need another Faith of the Devoted, I don't think. What do we take out from our main deck? I think we'll take out several cast outs because we don't really need cast outs. Censor's kind of bad. I think we'll take out 1 cast out and 2 censors and run it like this. Aggro is a fine matchup because, as you saw, like we had, if we draw new perspectives in our first like 15 cards, we're fine. Maybe we don't need Mastermind's acquisition. On the play, you like Censor. The thing is on the play, you don't really want to be casting your cards because you want to make sure you still have enough cards to use your new perspectives. So yeah, we're keeping this hand. As I said before, you pretty much keep every single hand with this deck because mulliganing is just really bad. We have our new perspectives. We have 2 Viziers. We have literally the whole combo in our hand. We just need to make sure we have. We're going to play this because if we draw any untapped land, we can cycle this on turn 2. Though it's debatable whether we would actually do that. Mad Courier, okay. Okay, so we'll just keep playing our tap lands. So he kept a sketchy hand, it looks like, that maybe doesn't have a 2-drop. I mean, a second land. Yep, that's great for us. So we'll play our blue-black land. Now we have access to all 4 of our colors. So it looks like we're going to be in good shape this game. You guys are going to get to see how the combo works. Oh, he did play a second land. I just wasn't paying attention. Okay. Silly me. Yep, we'll take 4. And this is why we run so many lands, because we just want to find lands at this point. We're going to play a cycling land, our tap land, because we want to save a basic land for the turn when we're going to combo off, essentially. And we don't really need a cast out, because it's not like he can slam a Hazaret here. And we'll probably just cycle our cast out, looking for lands. So he'll probably be able to attack with that next turn. Does that mean I want to save cast out? Probably not. So next turn he's going to hit me for 5, 8, 9. So I'll cycle this. Okay. Perfect. That's actually the perfect draw. Gaining 3 life is going to be very huge here. Play our Censor. I mean our Gift of Paradise on the island now. So now we go up to 15. He has to find a way to attack with Hazaret. He can hit us for 5, 8, 9. So if he has like double Lightning Strike in hand, we can still counter one of them. So I guess if he has Lightning Strike, land, we die. But I mean, at that point, like, what are you going to do? And we're still not 100% dead to that. Okay, Chandra's fine. So he'll plus Chandra. We'll go to 13. Or he'll plus Chandra for mana. Yeah, we win this game, I think. We're going to be in good shape. And it's also not like we're dead even if we don't, because even if he could have killed us, because we could like still cycle Viziers looking for a Haze of Pollen or a new perspective. So yeah, he's getting for mana. So I like this. He's going to discard a card with Hazaret. So I go to 13. So this is 8. So he's attacking me for 5, 8, 9. So I go to 4. And then I just win. We're in very good shape now. Okay. So we draw 3. We have 8 cards in hand. One of the things about sequencing here is you always want to cycle your Shafet monitors first if you have them. Okay, we'll cycle for 0. Cycle. 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 I cycle Viziers last. It's just a habit I've gotten in. It doesn't really matter when you cycle them. Okay, cycle. Untap land. Tap it for black. You usually just tap them for black because all your like win cons actually use black mana, so you don't really need to cast anything else. Okay. Tap for black. Shadow of the Grave. Yeah. And by the time you're casting your first Shadow of the Grave, you usually have just won the game. So yeah, we'll cycle the Shafet Monitor as soon as we see it. It thins our deck. It also gets us more mana sources before we draw them all. I'll start just putting the cards off to this side that I can't cycle. I still haven't made my land drop for the turn. One of the things that's important to do is make sure you don't like make your land drop and lower your hand to less than 7. So yeah, we're just looking for all of our Viziers before we do anything else. So we'll cycle a Vizier now. Untap. So yeah, we've won this game for sure. 2 black, cycle another Vizier. Untap. Also, if you're going to use Mastermind's Acquisition, you need black. So yeah, we found our 4th Vizier. So yeah, this is our 10 mana. We'll just play our land. Cycle. Sure, we'll gain 2 life, why not? At this point, we can just pretty much win. Yeah, this is, you do run out of basics eventually, so we have our last basic. It's nice that it does the land search ability first. Okay. What's the ending to this? My opponent doesn't know how I'm going to win. Okay. Sure, I don't really care. I'll just keep going. Okay, so we're going to get black mana. Now we'll just win. Use black and green. And play our Faith of the Devoted. You kind of want to play Faith of the Devoted last, so I'm not going to cast it yet. I'm just going to... I have all the mana I need, so look, my hand has 32 cards in it, so... cycle this guy. You just want to, for time's sake. I don't know, this is my first time playing. Yeah, I'm not going to respond to him. I'm just going to focus. So yeah, now we're just going to win. You like the approach win con better? The approach win con's harder to use. This one's just very elegant and simple because your win con only costs 3 mana. So it's easier to slip in under control decks. And I tend to just cycle the cards that don't have extra abilities, like my lands. Yeah, he concedes. There we go. So yeah, red isn't actually a horrible matchup. So like against control decks, you can like bring in another Faith of the Devoted, and then you can sometimes just like they cast a Search for Askanta and you cast a Faith of the Devoted, and then they have a problem because you don't have to actually get it through the counter magic. So yep. What do we want on the draw? So we could bring in. He sent me another message. Okay. I don't think we need Mastermind's Acquisition. It's a bit slow. I think we'll just bring in a Censor because it's just easier to find our stuff if we have more sensors and stuff. And red doesn't have any way to deal with like Faith of the Devoted. I think we'll take out one Shadow of the Grave for another cast out. Because he's not going to make us discard them or anything. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to shave on any of our combo pieces here. We just have to... Being on the draw is a bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Shafet Monitor is also a card that you can cycle to get up to 6 mana to combo off on turn 5 because it doesn't really cost you a card, so you stay even on cards. I don't know what this means. I guess you were born without hands. Sorry, pal. Tough break. Weird. So we're going to keep, as we do most hands. It doesn't have white mana yet, which is annoying. He doesn't have a 1-drop. That's very nice for us. So we'll play our land. Hopefully we find a white source. Opponent accuses me of having no hands. I am confused. So as long as we draw lands, we're going to be fine. What did opponent say? I'll show you. Opponent said, I guess you were born without hands. Sorry, pal, tough break. Weird thing to say for sure. So he's got a horrible hand, it looks like. My opponent's hand is pretty slow. He does not have a 3rd land. He doesn't have a 1-drop. Yeah, pretty much the dream. So we're going to play this turn. Then we're going to cycle our Renewed Faith. Then the next turn we're going to cycle our Shafet Monitor, and then we're going to win. That's why we're not playing our Forest this turn. So he has a 3-drop, presumably. Oh, no 3-drop. Just going to hit us for 4. Oh, that's kind of nice. Hopefully we draw planes. Okay, so now we have to find another untapped land, and then we win. Hazaret? Chandra? One of those two. Rekindling Phoenix, okay. So we go to 8. So I think we're going to gamble and hope that in our next 3 draw steps we find a land. We're not going to like try for cast outs, though we can next turn if we need to, because we're going to Shafet Monitor for a plains and then cycle our cast out. So that way we have 2 draws at it. And then we can settle the wreckage if we still don't find a land. Oh, there we go. There's a land. There's the land. 6 lands. There we go. So this is where we have 9. Yeah, we have 9 cards in hand, so we're fine. So we're just going to cycle all of our Shafet Monitors first. Forest. So now as soon as we find a Shadow of the Grave, the game's locked up. Island. We need to find a forest, at least with at least one of them, so we can cast a Gift of Paradise. Cycle. 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 So we're just looking for a Gifts of Paradise here. There's our Shadow of the Grave. So now we have 9 cards, so we'll play our land. Oh, we already played a land. That's right. Cycle this guy. Untap our Fetid Pools. Because we do need black mana. If we had messed that up, that would have been bad. Cycle Shafet Monitor, get our swamp. Cycle. So this is a turn 5 combo kill. Who has no hands now, opponent? Still looking for a Gift of Paradise. Because we don't want to cycle this until we find one. There we go. So this will essentially pay for itself now. So now we've just got the whole combo. So it took us a while to get our Gift of Paradise, but maybe opponent rage quit. Say GG. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be really funny, though. The aggressive GG. I should have said, like, GG, like, before I started my combo. And then 10 minutes later, I beat him. This is why we don't side out any copies of our Shadow of the Grave. Man, what a fun matchup. Also, tapping for only black mana means that we don't accidentally like cycle by paying for it. Oh, I should have cycled my 2 Shafet monitors first. Or I guess my like 3 Shafet monitors, so we'll do that now. There's my last forest. When they show the first shadow, yeah, you probably should. I mean, it's not like I'm going to fizzle from here. Opponent's just salty, so. I just need to get up to 13 mana. Where's my last other Vizier? Do I only have 3 Viziers? Oh, that's weird. I'll just cycle, I guess, until I find another one. There he is. I mean, I'm going to find one eventually, so it doesn't really matter when I find it. Yeah, we're just going to cast it now. It's easy to just have one color of mana when you're doing this. So yeah, we have all 4 of them. Cycle. So if I had like 3 cards left in my deck, then I would cast the Faith of the Devoted now. But as it is, it's just less clicking to do this way. I wonder if opponent will make another comment. Yep. Yeah, this is just pretty. You just have to make sure you do it while they're all in the stack. Otherwise, I'd deck myself. I could have obviously done this in a way where I didn't deck myself, but it's just easier to just do it all at the end after you've like gotten all the mana. You can do it while you're gaining the mana from your Viziers if you think you're going to deck yourself, but you're really never going to deck yourself. Opponent just gonna be salty. I mean, he knows he can't win. Does he think I don't have the? I have 8 mana. I have 24 cards in my hand. Does he think I don't have the last 2 cyclers I need? Is that what he thinks? Is he hoping I'll like go make myself a sandwich and forget about the game? Bizarre. Bizarre. I'm still laughing about how he's like, you don't have any hands. Like that's the best thing he could come up with to say is, yeah, I'm playing mono red and you're playing 4-color cycling, which I think it's actually a fine matchup for 4-color cycling, to be honest, because we have Gift of Paradise to gain us 3 life. We have Renewed Faith to gain us some life. So I think the matchup, this is pretty much how it plays out. If we can kill him on turn 5, we win. We could have also settled the Wreckage to him. That would have been fine. Like, pretty good. Thanks, opponent. But yeah, we've won this game. This is a foregone conclusion. But yeah, pretty cool deck. I'll just start organizing my cards, I guess. That's why you want to have like all cyclers in your deck so you don't fizzle ever. Once you play Renewed Faith, you just win every single game. So I guess there's 2 of those, 1 island. The other Shifet monitors are here. Yeah, opponent got salty and left. I'll try and find a way to edit this out for YouTube, but if I can't, I'm sorry you had to watch opponent get salty. Who doesn't have hands now, opponent? Opponent's trying to click the OK button, but his hands just disappeared. Oh, man. This is a weird tactic. Opponent didn't disconnect, they just left. He also said, sorry, pal, tough break. Maybe I should type something like, I got lucky. I only combo off 1 in 20 games. And I did it twice against you. Man. I'm just trying to imagine someone just being like, I lost to this combo deck. Rage slamming their computer screen shut, just like completely at a loss of what to do. Oh, he conceded. That's right. Okie doke. So on to the next round. This is our deck. Pretty much just tuning in. 4-color cycling. And we're keeping, as we usually do. So we haven't mulliganed once, which is pretty much exactly how we want it to work out. Like, we keep very rough hands with this deck because we have so many lands, so many cyclers to help us find our lands. We'll play a farmland first. It lets us cycle either of our Renewed Faiths if we draw an untapped land, though we don't really care. If it's a slow matchup, we're fine. Opponent doesn't have a second land! Oh, man, poor opponent. Kept their sketchy hand. Okay. This is not going to be a very good game. I guess we were supposed to cycle our Censor there, but I kind of want to hold it up here just to put the hurt on the opponent. Though I kind of just want to cycle our Renewed Faith. I kind of want to keep our Censor, though, because if he's, like, screwed on lands, he obviously can't play his stuff. So, like, he can't pay the extra 1. Okay. Perfect. We hit a land drop. That means we can keep holding up our Censor. And next turn we can Gifts of Paradise or Shafet Monitor, whichever one we want. Yeah, we don't care about that. Like, we could not care less about that. It's just not going to kill us fast enough. We just want to make sure we find our new perspectives now. Especially because we have so many Renewed Faiths. Our Shep Oasis, yep, he hit a land drop. That's fine. Perfect. So I guess we'll play our Forest. Then we'll cycle Shafet Monitor and our Renewed Faith. Actually, one, two, three to get that. Then we can just Mastermind's Acquisition. Get new perspectives. Pass the turn. Yeah. We don't really want to necessarily combo off next turn, but yeah, our opponent's not doing much. So we can afford to wait. But that was just a good turn to cast it. Depending on what we draw, we can maybe do it, but we could just set up with a couple Gifts of Paradise. Opponent hit 2 lands. That's nice for them. So yeah, we drew a land. Yeah, no reason not to set up for a turn. We'll save our Shafet Monitor. We'll just cycle our other stuff. We're not going to cast our Gifts of Paradise because we want to have enough cards in hand. But since he has not put any pressure on us whatsoever. He's tapped out. Okay, sure. Yeah, we do not care. So since we're on a whole different axis, we don't really care about a lot of this stuff. Okay. We're just going to hold it because we're going to be able to cycle it for free next turn anyway. Okay, now we win. I think so. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll just tap double blue. We're not going to play our land yet because we don't want to accidentally mess it up. Cycle and not have enough cards. Get our swamp. Oops, meant to cycle Shafet first. And now we just get all of our lands. Now we just need to find a we just need to find a whatever the card that returns all our cards. I forget what it's called right now. Shadow of the Grave. We just need to find one of those. We're just going to cast a second New Perspectives. I guess we would have been one short. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we wouldn't have been. We could have also played a land to cast it too. Sometimes you have to cast a second one just to find more action. You have enough mana to cast one, so you probably should just do it. Like in this case where we're just digging for that one card. The odds of us fizzling are very low here. There we go. Yep. Yeah. Close one. We almost messed up. We almost missed it. We drew 3 in a row. That would have been tilting. Okay, we'll just cycle our Shafet monitors. Okay, we'll get the last land out of our deck. How many of our Viziers do we have? We have 2 Viziers, so we'll just keep cycling until we find our last ones. There's another one. Yep, now we just win the same way we've won before. So yeah, we'll just Shadow of the Grave back our Viziers. Down to 9 cards. Just gotta make sure we don't deck ourselves. Gotta cast our Faith of the Devoted before we deck ourselves. Everything else is instant speed. So we need to get up to 13 mana, which we can do. No, we do not want to do that. That would have been quite bad, actually. So we have exactly 13. Don't need to risk anything, though. But we will cast our Faith of the Devoted first. And then we'll cast a Rise from the Grave, just to get them back in case we need them. Because our opponent has some free life gain spell that I don't know about. I mean, it's not going to happen, but it also protects me from misclicking. So yeah, now that we have those, we can just pretty easy win here. They got really mana screwed and no pressure was put onto us. This is like the ideal matchup too, because they aren't really a fast deck. So it's not like they can pressure us at all. I mean, they can be fast sometimes, but they weren't like fast this time, so they didn't pressure us, and they have no interaction for our combo really. So yeah, Pretty easy win. So, against red-green monsters, I think we probably want Haze of Pollen, because it can just buy us extra turns. So we'll put that off to the side. We don't really need Mastermind's Acquisition number 2. Mastermind's Acquisition number 2 is really good against Lost Legacy, because you can just side it in and side out one new perspectives. Archfiend's not insane. We don't need another Faith. Though they might have enchantment removal, but then we have our one Mastermind's Acquisition to go get our other guy. We don't need Fragmentizers. Don't really need Settle. We could maybe bring in Settle and Fumigate. Don't really need counter spells like Countervailing Winds. All in all, I think our deck is just pretty good against them in general. So we could just bring in one Haze of Pollen. I don't think they have any permanents we really care about. So we could take out a Cast Out. Yeah, let's do that. Take out 2 Cast Outs for a Haze and a Settle. And run it like that. Perfect hand. Never mulligan with this deck if you can avoid it at all costs. And I might be, even if I can censor something, you have to evaluate. What's that noise? Oh, probably someone using a chainsaw. Sorry about that. Doesn't look like it's audible. Perfect. So we hit a counter, but we're just going to keep playing our tap land, and we're going to cycle a Sensor to try and hit a land drop. Do I have the noise gate on? Nope. Where do I check for the noise gate? Filters. Nope, no noise gate. Deathgorge Scavenger. Okay. He's going to gain some life. Not really relevant against me. Perfect. More lands is always nice. We're going to play our Forest, cycle our Renewed Faith, hold of our Censor. We could like censor something here. It wouldn't be the out of the question. We're taking 7. Yeah, we might censor something here. Shadow of the Grave, not really what we want. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay. Gain 2 life. Cycle Censor. We're going to Gifts this and cycle our Sheltered Thicket, I think. Because we can actually just hard cast our Shafet Monitor to help us stabilize. It's a play that is not often used, but is possible. Oh. That's kind of nice. Don't really want to deal with the Brontodon. Hopefully he doesn't have a second one. I think that was probably a bit aggressive by him. So he has a Glorybringer, so I'm dead next turn. I think is what this means. Okay. Not a very good draw from me here. 3 Shadow of the Graves is not ideal. I could still draw Hazes of Pollen and stuff. Okay, yeah, not looking great. Haze of Pollen's my only out, I think. Sure. Huh. So I'm gonna hold up green and get a white, because this way another Renewed Faith would also get the job done. No, because this is 10. That's game. Oh well, okie doke. Game 3. So I think we do need cast outs. Though they are really bad against the card that we just saw, the Brontodon. We'll bring in Fumigate. Fumigate should be fine. On the play, I like sensors. We'll take out another cast out. Keeping this hand. We have our Fumigate, which he probably won't be able to beat, because we'll just gain so much time from that. Yeah, sure. Okay, now we have that. That's really good. So we can censor some stuff if it becomes a problem. Or we'll just cycle censor. Yeah, we don't care about that. Want to make sure we find lands. So now we can cycle Shafet Monitor if we need to. I mean, we probably will to get a plains. Sure, Ronus is fine. Kind of annoying, but fine. I mean, I'm going to win next turn if he doesn't. I mean, I have Fumigate, but I can also just, if I draw a land, I can just win. So I'm going to take 9 here. Kind of annoying. I'll just get a plains, though. And it'll all be good. Get a plane, so I can cast Fumigate if I need to. And I drew a land, so I'm just going to win. I think. Yeah. I don't have any cyclers, though, which is a bit of a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can also just cast Fumigate. Try and strand this. The problem is I can't Fumigate and Gifts. 3, 4, 5, 6. I can Gifts and be close to Fumigating, which doesn't really matter. I just need one more way to make mana with my guys to... But I do die if I don't draw that. I need either a Shafet Monitor or a Vizier off of the new perspectives, / all the cycles that come with it. I think I'll just buy myself another turn. There's no way he kills me after this because I'm going to be at 10. Even if he plays like a Phoenix and hits me for 5. Okay, Branch Walker's fine. It is fine. Perfect. Actually, not really perfect, but we'll go for it. Perfecto. Now it's perfect. See, now I have 8 cards in hand. This is going to be kind of a tough one because we kind of do need to hit a bunch of stuff, but I'm not really worried. We're just going to need... Yay, that was perfect, actually. Get a forest. Oh, yes. A forest. Oops. Misclick. Could have been costly there. Could have just cost me the match with the misclick, but luckily it's not going to. We will Shadow of the Grave back all of our stuff. Cast Gift now that we have more than 7. If I'd cast Gift first there, I would have lost. Or at least I wouldn't have won this turn, which means I probably would have lost. So we'll just put it on our forest now. Cycle our Shafet guys first, as always. I guess our opponent just draws like their entire deck. Oh no, it's only a creature, so they don't draw their entire deck. Yep, and we've got it from here. Just need to find one more copy of the what's it called? There's our Faith of the Devoted. As soon as we find another Shadow of the Grave, we're just going to win, I think. There's no more left in our deck, but it's just a cycle. There's another one. Jeez, okay. We'll just start cycling these guys off. We do need to find another one, I think, but there's no one green way to kill an enchantment, I don't think. And even if he has one of those, then we're fine. Because we can just use our alternate win con of getting Approach to the Second Sun. So how much mana can we make? So this can get our approach. Maybe we will deck. Perfect, there we go. We just need one more. Shadow of the Grave. So we have these 3 guys, so they can generate 6 more mana. So yeah, we're going to just cast our Faith of the Devoter now. There it is. Yep, we won. Not much really to say here. Just trying not to time out. Yep, he concedes. Okay. So another close one, kind of, but we kind of won. We kind of smashed the games we won, and it was close to the games we lost. This is going to be the final match of the video, so hopefully it goes well and we can get the 3-0 on the video. This deck does take a while to play, so I don't want the video to be like 5 hours long. So we are on the draw. One of the rare mulligans with this deck, so we'll keep this. Put that on the bottom. But yeah, the mulligan actually really hurts the deck in general. Because now it means it's harder for us to just straight up combo off and win. Because we might not have 7 cards in hand. We're just gonna keep playing our lands tapped. Because we want to be able to Shafet Monitor cycle on turn 4. So that means I'd rather probably have a cast out, I guess, so it doesn't really matter. I probably just should have played Irrigated Farmland there. Ugh. So opponent has a Shafet Dunes, so I don't really know what's up. I don't know what decks run Aether Hub and Shafet Dunes. Nothing. Okay, perfect. I'm going to just keep playing this. We're going to cycle our Renewed Faith. Or Censor if it's like something we really care about, but we probably don't care about it. Mono White would be a really good matchup, but I don't know why they would run Aether Hub then. Five colors on turn 3. Let's go. So they're just running a lot of deserts. Gain 2 life, draw a card. Play our forest. Pass the turn with our Shafet Monitor cycle up. Huh. So I don't know what he's doing. He's got 3 colors. Maybe he's playing Bant Deserts. Seems like a good matchup. We'll get a swamp. Actually, let's get a forest. No harm in getting a swamp, really. We'll get a plane so we can cycle our cast out. Actually, we'll get an island so we can cycle our Censor. Cast out's probably more valuable. Okay, new perspective. So, doesn't look like a counterspell deck. So if we cast it, we just win probably. I like casting it. It doesn't look like a counterspell deck. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know. Okay, so he has negate. Good to know about. This is why we have countervailing winds, so that we can win a counter war potentially. We'll just hold the irrigated farmland for now, though. Don't need the extra land in play. Glimmer. Okay. So he's like Bant control? I don't know what the green is for. I guess I'll find out. Okay, cast out. Oh, we're probably just going to cast out search. Because search is kind of like a win con for this type of deck. Yep. Perfect. We're not going to cast a Shifet Monitor. It's kind of tempting, but at the same time, we don't really want to turn on his creature removal that he probably has in game 1. So he doesn't have a Glimmer. Cycle our fetid pools. We're just looking for our other copy of another copy of New Perspectives now. And then we need to find our countervailing winds. We're only going to play basic lands because we have like 5 more in our deck. We don't really need them to fetch out with Shifet Monitors, so we're just going to cycle away our other lands to find action. If we find New Perspectives here, we might just go for a mini combo off this turn and use our Shadow of the Grave. Like we could like end of turn, like do a bunch of cycling. Still have all that. Oops, did not mean to cycle that one. That was a mistake. Probably not going to hurt me in the long run. So now we're definitely going to go for the Shadow of the Grave play. Because if he counters this, then we're probably okay, because we still have another Shadow of the Grave. But it's basically a draw 4. Oh my gosh, he doesn't counter it. That's great for us. Okay. Play a land now. Play that. We do have 9 cards in hand. So I guess we'll just discard an irrigated farmland. So he has the City's Blessing now, which is kind of annoying. Just going to keep cycling, looking for that New Perspectives and our countervailing winds. There's a New Perspectives. So he has 5 cards in hand. This isn't getting much better. I wonder how many hard counters he has in his deck. Double blue might be hard for him. Ooh! Let's go. Now I'm just confused. What could he possibly have? That's good. Looking for our countervailing winds here. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing. Trying to mill me. Okay. Sure. So I guess if he hits Faith of the Devoted and our Mastermind's Inquisition thing, we lose, so... We're just going to cycle until we find one of those. Preferably both. Ah, that was brilliant, Nikolai. Excellent clicking. Didn't even know that was a legitimate stratagem. Gonna untap the land this time, not the Gift of Paradise. So we have 7 cards in hand, but this is on the stack, so after we find our win cons, we will be fine. There's that one. Ideally, we'd find both. Oh, well, we'll just let him mill us now. So he found Masterminds. So now we need to find our countervailing winds so we don't lose to a counter. Okay, so we are at 5 cards, so we will Shadow of the Grave. You played this guy the other day? That's cool. He can probably only have 1 counter spell. Need to find our countervailing winds. He didn't mill it, right? Nope, we have a countervailing winds in our deck still. The question is, can we win if our countervailing winds is our last card? I think so. There we go. Okay. We also have a sensor, so we can do some fancy stuff with that. Okay, so we win now. Okay, always yield to that. Yes. And then we have enough mana to just win. Gonna keep up our blue mana though. Yay, we got there. Oh man, that was crazy. I did not know what he was doing to win that game. Very confused, actually. How am I supposed to sideboard against him? He's playing like Desert Control. So our countervailing winds is definitely coming in. I'm not sure how good negates are going to be because I don't know how many counter spells he has. Approach probably not coming in. Probably going to bring in this second. Probably going to have ways to deal with our faiths and our masterminds. Maybe he's playing mill? Don't really think we need these. Just deal with search for Azcanta. I guess they could possibly be better. They're probably better than Renewed Faiths, Forsake the Worldlies. Maybe Censor's were not as good. So we definitely want all of our new perspectives, all of our Chafettes. Don't want to take out any of our combo pieces against a deck with counters. Maybe we only need one faith. We'll just keep one in the sideboard. That's pretty cool, Smurf. Man, will we get the perfect 3-0? Let's see. Man, are we going to have to mulligan again? I think so. That's a rough one. Having to mulligan with this deck. We'll keep this hand, though. I mean, we definitely don't want to mulligan to 5. And he doesn't look like he's going to kill us very quickly. There's that. That was kind of cool. Man, I don't think we're just gonna run out our faith of the devoted. Okay, so he has a scavenger grounds, which is kind of annoying. Double masterminds acquisition. That's kind of cool. All I need are lands. Haha. Hey, he doesn't have a third land either. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, that's funny. We're both screwed on lands. Okay. Oh man, he hit his third land. Never lucky. No response. I can't. Unable to copy my opponent's good skill. Clean up, I'll discard a Censor. Land. My kingdom for a land. Oh, that's unfortunate. We'll discard a Shadow of the Grave. Okay, Forsake the Worldly. We tend to not... It's turn 6. That's kind of insane. We tend to mulligan quite well, too. I mean, we hit our lands pretty consistently. We have a ton of cycling. There we go. Essence Scatter? Why does he have Essence Scatter still in his deck? Did he just see us combo him? He must not have really realized what I was doing. Definitely not in the mood to just run out of Faith the Devoted for it to get Ixalan's Binding. Or Forsake the Worldly. Ixalan's Binding would be fine, but... Cycling another Forsake the Worldly. He just wants to hit his 4th land drop. Don't we all? Yep, and the land is nice. So we're just gonna run out our Gifts of Paradise and play our land. He does have scavenger grounds to kind of stop my combo a little bit. Nice. That's cool. So, yeah. I wonder if he kept in removal against me, because he kept in Essence Scatter. Because normally I would look to just slam Shafet Monitor next turn and just kill him with it. But, like, because that's like a potential way to just win these matchups. But I feel like he might have... So... we'll cycle. Get a forest. Hopefully draw land. Beautiful. It's all about hitting those land drops here. We'll hold up the fake sensor. Okay, so... Huh. Kind of want to use a Masterminds acquisition, but I'm not sure what I want to get. It's not too close to the arch being on. I don't know how his deck wins is the problem. Masterminds for Arcfiend. No, Arcfiend would not be the best. I'll just keep playing my land drops and wait on him. See what he's up to. Maybe he has a Gear Hulk I want to counter or something. His deck is definitely interesting. So he has Scavenger Grounds with a couple activations. Definitely keeping my countervailing winds, even though he can use Scavenger Grounds to get rid of stuff. Huh. I'll countervailing winds that. Actually, sure, you can have your zombies. I'll try and win this turn. He almost assuredly has a negate. Okay. So if he counters this, then I slam my new perspectives with counterspell backup, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Will I have counterspell backup? I don't know. But if he counters this, then I will not have to care. Big decision for him whether he wants to counter this. Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh, and we even drew another one. That's good. We're going to keep up the black mana in case we just need to use our Shadow of the Graves. And I think we got the win, boys. Unless we like really whiff hard. Oh yeah, 2 cyclers, we should be able to get there. Especially because we can Masterminds for another one. Gonna get an island. Oh, he conceded. He said and yawn, and then he just conceded. I wonder if we would have got there. So we would have cycled this one, cycled the next one, cycled that, cycled that, cycled that. Yeah, I think we would have gotten there for sure. It would have been kind of sketchy for a little bit, but we do have the Shadow of the Grave. So, well, opponent conceded. We got the 3-0. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I think the deck is really sweet, and I just wanted to share that with all of you folks. I hope you enjoyed the deck. It's pretty cheap to pick up. The only real cards that cost anything are the cycling lands, but the deck costs about like 30 tickets or something. So it's a very budget deck for Magic Online. And it's pretty fun, pretty competitive. The gameplay is is pretty interesting in some ways because you have to choose when you want to cycle and when you want to cast your spells, and the deck is pretty powerful. It combos off pretty consistently. If you land a New Perspectives, you basically just win. That's the way the deck is built. It doesn't have to mulligan a lot. So yeah, I really enjoyed the deck. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click that thumbs up and subscribe to get updates for whenever I post new content. If you have any questions about the deck or about the gameplay, be sure to leave them in the comments section down below, and I will happily respond with my thoughts or answers. If you'd like to catch me streaming live, I stream on twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. You can find me streaming there. There will be a link to it down in the description below. If you would like to connect with me on social media, you can find me on Twitter. Tweet me at NicolaiBolas. I post when I have a new YouTube video, when I have a 3-0 deck, or whenever I have or whenever I am going to go live. But yeah, thank you so much for watching YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.